Hello everyone, and welcome to the CodiumAI and Kubescape Bug Bounty Program Kickoff event. This Bug Bounty Program is a one-week opportunity to challenge your skills and make a real impact on the open source software community. During this event, Itamar Friedman, CodiumAI's CEO, will provide valuable insights into the world of code testing and code integrity. He will share tips and knowledge gained from years of experience in the field. Additionally, Matthias Bertschy, a leading maintainer of Kubescape repositories, will be on hand to assist and guide you throughout the Bug Bounty program. We see a world where AI-driven testing tools like CodiumAI will change the way we ensure code integrity and software quality. In today's kickoff event, we will demonstrate how to use the AI to identify bugs and explain what the Bug Bounty program entails. We've partnered with Kubescape, an open source Kubernetes security platform for your clusters, CI/CD pipelines, and IDE. Kubescape is a highly popular repository. Nevertheless, we will illustrate how you can utilize CodiumAI to incorporate tests and uncover issues. During today's kickoff event, we'll walk you through a 5-minute session, video session that we've prepared, demonstrating how to add tests and identify issues within it. Lastly, we'll delve into how CodiumAI has been instrumental in uncovering bugs within Kubescape. Throughout this workshop, you'll not only gain practical skills in identifying bugs and improving open source software, but you will also glimpse into the exciting future of this field. And remember, you are not alone in this adventure. The Kubescape maintainers will be actively involved in reviewing your PRs and offering guidance. It's all about teamwork and making the open source code it's all about teamwork and making the open source code world a better place. Before we conclude this session, please note that we will share the rules and registration details for the Bug Bounty program. Now, Itamar Friedman, the co-founder and CEO of CodiumAI, will present CodiumAI's solution.
Thank you. So first of all, TLDR, we're going to have some fun talking about AI, how it could use for software development, especially for code integrity like testing, etc. We're going to talk about Kubescape, what it does, how you can use CodiumAI to improve Kubescape, but you don't have to. You can improve Kubescape in many other ways, like with your own hands, with ChatGPT, with AI, without AI. Eventually, AI will be there. We will show you. And lastly, like if you are here to participate in this Bug Bounty event, although it's also a feature development event, then we will share the technical details on that. Okay, so like that's a TLDR. And let me share my screen. Okay. So I'm going to start with the first part, talking about CodiumAI. Like, sorry, I didn't introduce myself too much because Danny did, CEO and co-founder. Previously to that, I was CTO 2 times, including an exit to a very large company. And I'm going to talk about CodiumAI, but I also want to talk about the future of software developments, like towards an intelligent software development world. Okay, that's the first part. So I guess if you're here or in general live in the software AI, in the software development world, you probably didn't skip over the fact that Gen AI is becoming a new standard in the software development world. Like it's even disrupting it, and I think like all of us want to stay ahead by leveraging smartly. By the way, it's not unique to AI. Like every time there's a new promising technology in software development, we want to exploit it, and this is true also for AI. Specifically at CodiumAI, then our vision is to create an intelligent software development world, helping developers to develop fast with 0 bugs. Yes, this is a very big statement. We're not, promising it right now. This is what we want to help eventually. But you can understand from it that we're focused. CodiumAI is focused on providing a tool or a set of tools to help you develop with confidence, like in what you're developing and testing it, etc. One of the reasons we want to help with development with confidence, because one of my personal stories in a company that worked at a very big company, and one of the teams that I collaborated with, we had an issue with a bug that being pushed to production that cost $10 million to the company. And one of the reasons it happened because we really try to move fast and probably didn't, do that with enough guardrails. And that was a really big aha moment for me. Generally, what you see here is a graph that's showing that finding a bug in production usually ends with reasonable cost of $3,000, but this is a median cost. Sometimes it could get to 10 million, like in the big company that I worked in. And what we think AI could help with is actually moving, finding the bugs, shift left. Sorry for using this buzzword, like finding it as you code. Okay, so that's one of the things that we're trying to do at CodiumAI. As you code, we help you do testing, preparing for a pull request, preparing for a successful pull request acceptance, like everything that you can do to improve the code, functional code, and functioning and code quality before it goes to production. So we help with testing, code coverage, behavior coverage that you're going to see a bit, explaining code, enhancing code, etc. And the reason we're showing all this because we want to encourage you to use CodiumAI for the bug bounty event. Okay, but there is but before that, I want to say, in addition, we want to have less bugs, right? It's obvious, and we want to help AI with those things that we're lazy with to do. Sorry, a jump with testing and things like that. But there is another reason we at CodiumAI we are providing what we call code integrity tools. Like testing is a part of it because we think this is the future of software development and code generation. Okay, not only testing and code coverage, explaining code is a milestone for better code generation. And let's talk about it. It could be interesting. Okay, what I'm going to show here is two companies, OpenAI, prior to the latest mess, competing with DeepMind after, by the way, their latest mess, if I think so, competing on a coding competition that is called Codeforce. Okay, it's the only two companies I'm aware of that actually competed on that competition. There is a human eval benchmark, if you're aware. Many companies compete there. It's very simple, like lead code, etc. Codeforce is a real game. And now I'm going to dive into the details. What you see on the left is the very famous graph by OpenAI, where they present how their GPT-4, the green column, the green colored marking, is doing very well on various tests like the GRE, math, and history, etc. That's the x-axis. On the y-axis, how well GPT-4 is doing and how well it's improving over GPT 3.5. Again, with most competition, it reached above 80 percentile versus really strong competitors that people are competing on these exams. The interesting thing for us is to notice the competition, which is third from the left that I mentioned, which is called Codeforce. They managed to reach only 5th percentile. According to Codeforce rating, this is a newbie rating. How could it be? Because I guess all of you try at least, if not daily, using ChatGPT, Copilot, or whatever. And we enjoy it. So how could it be that it only reached 5th percentile? I'm going to go back to that in a minute. Of course, otherwise I wouldn't talk about it. On the right, what we see is DeepMind solution. DeepMind, they presented a full solution with a very large, long paper. And what you see here is a screenshot on the right from their system. Okay, with this system on the same competition, they reached 45 percentile. And the question, how could it be much better? So we give a hint here. The purple overlay on the right is my personal overlay. It didn't exist in their original architecture of their solution. And this is a very special component. It's a code integrity component, something that does testing solution. I'm doing a zoom in, okay, again on AlphaCode solution by DeepMind. They call it AlphaCode. They basically have two components. One is kind of similar to GPT-4, but with some additional prompting. And the other on the right is a code integrity solution similar to CodiumAI. And they basically built a system that combines them both. and like close the loop of generating code and checking code. And with that, they get a very, very good result. So the reason why we think that why code integrity is so important, because when you combine them both, then actually you will have a code generator that offers you solution that actually also are checked to some extent. Okay, but this is the future. It's something that is coming out in early 2024. Stay tuned. But I wanted to talk about the future of software development and why testing and code integrity is so important, because it's also going to impact on code generation. So I'm almost done with my talking. I want to show you like a video how to use CodiumAI on Kubescape. So what you're going to see is CodiumAI ID extension. Okay. First, I'm going to show you how to use CodiumAI ID extension on Kubescape. I want to say again, you don't have to use CodiumAI in part of this bug bounty and hackathon actually event. You can use whatever you want. This ID extension was launched half a year ago. I mean, now 7 months, already reaching close to 300,000 installation. Actually, the numbers here are not up to date. We have a lot of users and companies using us. So that's what I'm going to demo to you right now. Okay. This is a demo that is pre-recorded to make it smooth and make sure that you won't spend too much time on problems. Okay.
Welcome to CodiumAI. Today we're going to explore an open source project called Kubescape, created by Armo. Kubescape is a Kubernetes security platform for DevSecOps practitioners and platform engineers that enables you to identify various threats in your Kubernetes infrastructure. It is an open source project, and we're going to generate new tests from scratch for the platform using CodiumAI's VS Code plugin. Let's begin. Kubescape's Go codebase is tested in two main ways. The first one is the smoke test, written as a set of Python scripts that runs on the Kubescape CLI in order to check for various behaviors by examining the execution results. The second one is using Go in-model test files, like the one shown here. It uses the traditional Go testing library and relies on the Go functions themselves and not the CLI. Our tests are going to be of the second Go-style variant. Let's first look at the list command in Kubescape's CLI. Since we're still unfamiliar with the codebase, we can use CodiumAI to better understand how the code works. By clicking the CodiumAI annotation above the function, we can choose the explain functionality, which will open up the CodiumAI pane to the left and create an explanation of the code right inside the IDE. Noting that Cobra is a popular CLI library for Go, we can see that this function is in charge of listing various frameworks and controls scanned for by Kubescape. We'll begin generating tests for this function in just a moment. The list command is just a wrapper. We're interested in the actual functional code that does the work. Let's choose list support actions, which logically lists what actions are supported and go into the code. We can see we moved over to the core package, and we can use CodiumAI's test this function annotation to generate tests automatically for this function. Please note that CodiumAI's default test configuration is used in this generation. We'll revisit how to tweak it later on in the video. For now, please disregard the configuration toggle at the top. We can see that CodiumAI generated a variety of tests for this function that check quite a lot of different possible behaviors, including the happy path and edge cases. The number of tests generated can be toggled in the configuration, by the way. Note that in Go, the common testing habit is creating an _test file for each file you're testing, like with cluster connector shown here. We'll do just that for list by copying the list.go file into a list_test.go file. This will keep the imports and whatever static variables we need in the file for our testing efforts. Let's copy the first test generated and then comment out the static variables in the file. We don't need them at this moment. Then delete everything in the file to make room for our test. Let's paste the test and wait for the imports to recalibrate for it. Note that the testing package is added by the Go extension automatically, and then run the test using VS Code's test runner. While the test is running, note that CodiumAI generated a simple unit test that checks whether the expected list of actions does indeed show up when list support actions is run. Also note how quick it is to generate a test using CodiumAI, and also keep in mind that the test might take a moment to run due to the compilation taking place in the background. Success! Let's scroll through the list of suggested tests to add another interesting test, one that checks the function returns an empty list where there are not supported actions. Let's copy the test, paste it beneath the last one. Note that the imports were updated. And I'll run the test again until it passes. Once we're done with the simple stuff, we can try and look at the behaviors coverage pane. It will show all the tests created by CodiumAI and allow you to generate more tests based on other behaviors the plugin suggests. Let's try and generate a test based on the fact that the function should return an empty list when no valid keys exist in listfunc. When we click Generate Test, a new test is generated at the bottom, and we can try and add it to our existing test suite that's slowly starting to take shape. This is a good time to note that we've been doing this for a couple of minutes now and already have 3 tests to our name strictly by using CodiumAI. Keep in mind that this repetitive process is something that can take a long time to do manually and saves a significant amount of time when trying to validate your code. And another green check mark. CodiumAI allows you to modify a test it has generated using free-form text in ChatGPT style using the "What would you like to change" box beneath each test. Let's look at the test that checks the sorting for the actions and ask CodiumAI to change it up a bit. It will refactor the test according to my instructions and output a whole new test with a new sort. Note how the test definition has also changed according to the newly created test. You can also create a completely new test by using the custom test functionality and use the same prompt we just used to generate a new custom test using the new custom test button at the bottom of the pane. One last thing before we let you go. The configuration pane at the top of the plugin allows you to add general instructions that will be added to all generated tests, for example, formatting or other best practices. You can also add reference tests for the generation or toggle the number of tests generated. That's it for today's video of CodiumAI and Kubescape. If you want to use CodiumAI, you can download our VS Code extension, our JetBrains plugin, or the GitHub PR assistant not covered in this video. Thanks for watching.
So what we saw now is like specific demo of part of the functionality of CodiumAI on trying it on Kubescape. Like for example, you saw that explain that can help you like understand the code base if you're new to Kubescape, or you can use the simple like starting point of testing the test function, the test command from CodiumAI. But then there is advanced options there that we just started showing you in the video, and you can explore. Again, you don't have to use CodiumAI in this bug bounty and hackathon event. But no matter if you use the ID extension in JetBrains or VS Code, you're going to bump into the second tool by CodiumAI, which is the PR agent. The PR agent is, by the way, it's an open source project that connects to your Git. Okay, it could be like GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab, whatever. In this case, it's connected to Kubescape. And it's an AI interface with commands in the conversation of the pull request. So for example, if you made a pull request, you can try to use various commands that are available in the PR agent, such as review, describe, and ask, etc. So we really recommend you to try it out. As maintainers and helpers to maintainers, we're going to use it for you anyway if you don't. So for example, if you open a PR, we might call the review, we called /review in the description to get a starting point. Of course, none of our AI as good as Matthias, okay? So, but it's a good starting point to get some points. You don't want to be embarrassed having an AI telling you, you don't want to be embarrassed by Matthias if you could already have an AI telling you some stuff you can fix yourself. That's the idea. It's not coming to replace anyone, but it could reduce the time. You will see there's other hints there. For example, if you push the pull request with only a typo, it will tell you, okay, come on, like the AI automatically will tell you for what, like yeah. And also you will see that if you'll push a new feature with no testing, it recommends you to have a testing. Or if you added one test, it will tell you why not a test suite, etc. So please try to follow, because that's our way to manage with all the maintenance of the open source. Yeah, I think with that, that will be a good point to stop and move to you, Matthias.
Thank you very much. Okay, let me share my screen. I'm gonna you see it? Yes. So I'm going to present a little bit Kubescape and the GitHub repository that you can find in github.com, kubescape/kubescape. This is the main one. So Kubescape, as we heard already, is an open source Kubernetes security platform. And we build it for use it during your day-to-day workflows. So from your clusters to your CI/CD pipelines and your IDEs. It's supposed to serve as a one-stop shop for Kubernetes security. And you can run scans via either the CLI or via the CI/CD steps. Or if you prefer, you can install the Kubescape Helm chart, which will run into your clusters and give an in-depth view of what is going on with this cluster in real time. So Kubescape performs misconfiguration and vulnerability scanning, and it provides risk analysis and security compliance indicators. All the results are presented in context, and users get many cues on what to do based on scan results. We offer an easy-to-use CLI interface, flexible output formats, and automated scanning abilities. So enough of the marketing. Now, this is the the main Kubescape repository. As advertised here, we are a cloud-native CNCF sandbox project. We should enter incubation soon. We are really proud of this. And if you want to start in open source, it's always good to find repos that are not tied to a company like this one, because this is under the umbrella of the Linux Foundation. So as we saw already in the video, there are some ways to enter into this code base, which is quite big. I recommend that you start by looking at the different commands that are available. So you can go to CMD folder and root. And inside here, you see the definition of the different Cobra commands that are available. And each of them is in its own package. So if you go back to here, you have list, scan. Oops. I went too fast, sorry. Scan, etc. And let me move to my IDE, so it will be easier to show you there. So there are like three main parts that we would like to improve the Kubescape test coverage and code quality. They are all situated in the core package. They are the CA util, the core, and the PKG folder. So let's take like one example. Inside core PKG, I have, yes, container scan. And so this is like an already covered command, but we can like for sure improve it. Let's go to get files by package. 1 second. Yes, here, let's go to the definition. So normally I was supposed to have the CodiumAI.
Yeah, I think maybe if you click on the file for a second, it jumps up, like it takes
Maybe. I should have loaded it before.
Yeah, and you can also use by the way, the panel, the chat panel.
Yeah.
If you select the lines or the
and
like
I
this,
can just like say explain, right?
For example, or test. By the way, you can also use the test.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to go to test. Let me stop it.
Yeah, so also like the test command should work the same.
Yeah. Yes, right. That's the panel I wanted. I close it. Okay, so as it was explained in the video, I have the very useful code explanation that would have saved me so much hours when I was entering the code base. And now what we can do when we see something like this, we have, where is it? The docstring.
Yeah, it's here in the bottom right. You have
docstring. Yes. So that's very good because yeah. So that's a very detailed docstring that I can immediately apply to the file. So this is good. And I also wanted to go to the test suite and generate some tests. Yep. If I do open as a file, right, it will, yes, great. I need to add the package because for some reason it's not generated there. And now, why is it called like this? Oh yes, right, I already have a test here. So maybe that's why it didn't generate. Maybe I will take the files there. Yes.
probably tried before to make sure it works, and
still yeah. No, but I mean, it shows that that's live, right? And there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Here it's missing also a few imports, but I beg it was working the other day, so it's a really bad demo. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. But by the way, I think like it's also show like the real thing. Sometimes AI does a lot of boilerplate for you. I'm not sure if it's AI issue or the ID or what's going on, but generally like nothing will really like click and test. Like that's the whole idea. Like you get like a lot of content, you get ideas on how to do things, and now you need to do the developer work.
That's the thing. Yes. Yep. So let me just like add one test. For some reason it didn't detect the good and here assert it should also import it, right? Yes, this one. Good. Great. So let's see that.
Actually, by the way, Matthias, I think it's a really real case. Like in many cases, you would want to do one test, make sure you have everything, you're happy with it, and then you can make more. Like it's actually a good practice, like to do it this way. If you needed to change package to Linux package, then you can go to the configuration and give me all the tests with Linux package, or there are many ways to influence. Like just as an example, we don't need to do it right now. I just want to say that actually what happened to you is a very real case where it takes you a minute or two to create, or maybe even 5 to create a good first test, and then like making many more. It's much easier with the behavior coverage. So it's a really good demo. Thank you.
Great. So now I have my test. Great. So I create a branch and I will use the GitHub plugin to create a pull request. So I'm pushing directly to the Kubescape organization because I'm a member, but in your case, you should use a fork for that. Yes. Okay. Great. Now I should actually see some tests.
By the way, you can generate you can generate commit messages and PR description messages with CodiumAI. It's actually one of the most used features. But yeah, just
I wanted to do it like just after, so I create an empty one, and then I wanted to add the describe command. So as we can see here, I created a very basic pull request with no description at all. So usually reviewers like me hate that. But luckily, since we have CodiumAI installed, it should pick up my command and add some description.
Yeah, but yeah, by the way, the same command, it's very convenient to do it here, but if someone wants, you can also use the describe in the ID, like whatever you prefer, like
like here, right? I do.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
You need to move to the if you
yeah. I need to be, yes. Well, let's see if we have the
yeah.
Yes. So now it will come. It was picked up and it will come. Yes. So this is great. As you can see, I have like exactly the files that I modified, what it was imported, the method. So for a maintainer, this is like golden. If all the descriptions would be like this, I would really love it. And then, of course, once you have your PR ready, you just add me as a reviewer or other. I cannot add myself, right? But yeah, this is how you would do it. So I hope this was clear enough. Otherwise, if you have issues, you can reach me on the chat. But I guess Danny will explain. Thank you very much.
Cool. By the way, Matthias, is there any specific like areas would you like to recommend to people to focus, developers to focus on, or or what you presented until now was like a good example for you?
Yeah, that's a good example. So as I said, it's everything is in the core. So core CA utils, core, and core PKG.
Cool.
The rest of the packages are more like they are like how you call them from outside, but the main business code is here, and this is what we really want to improve. So yeah.
Great. And we'll probably mention these details in the Discord that maybe Danny will share where to find. And Matthias, maybe one last thing before I move to Danny. If you could ask for magic wand feature, like your best wish of someone picking up and actually developing a feature and adding some tests to it, because you can get a lot of points for that. Like, is there any recommendation for that?
Feature.
You can also something that you were supposed to do, and and you can.
yeah. I'm working on other in-cluster components right now. But if some people are interested in the release process of Kubescape, maybe we can talk in the Discord package. I have some ideas on how to improve, but this is like a hybrid work between developer and DevOps. But yeah, if you can like just improve the code quality, find bugs by augmenting the code coverage, it's already very nice.
Amazing. Danny, to you.
Okay, so guys, in this Kickoff event, you witness CodiumAI in action and seen its capabilities. Sorry. You're encouraged to implement CodiumAI within Kubescape. With this context in mind, let's turn our attention back to the rules, particularly focusing on how to earn coins. Remember, meaningful PRs will be rewarded with meaningful points. Now, this bug bounty is not only a great opportunity to become familiar with amazing tools and take on a personal challenge, but it also enables you to earn money by conducting tests, discovering bugs, and submitting approved pull requests. So now let's take a look at the rules. First of all, registration. If you haven't already, make sure to register to the Bug Bounty program. You can find the registration link on our website and LinkedIn channel. This will help us to better communicate and share some important updates with you. Choose your button. Choose the focus area you wish to improve in Kubescape open source. Bring out CodiumAI. Use CodiumAI Copilot or ChatGPT to enhance your skills. Bug hunt. Add tests, find bugs, and fix them. Submit. Make a pull request and consider best practices such as making short and simple PRs. Get reviewed. CodiumAI's bot will automatically review your PR, mostly labeling your PR, including a bug fix. Like some examples, yes, it will label including a bug fix, included test, small PR, and so on, and providing suggestions, all with the purpose of assisting the maintainers and you. Lastly, collect your reward. If your PR gets the green light, you'll score a reward based on CodiumAI's bug bounty campaign rules. Accumulate points based on the significance of your contributions with cash rewards for the top 3 ranks. Compete by earning points for different types of contributions, from fixing small bugs to creating test suites and features. Developers who've made a noteworthy contribution to our bug bounty program through diligent pull request submissions and effective problem solving will be listed on our leaderboard on our website. You can actually see it here on this page. We will be sharing the link with you. Now, the bug bounty program officially kicks off now, okay? And we'll be sharing another date with the closing event, during which we will celebrate your achievements and distribute rewards. So guys, let's get started. Thank you a lot for joining us today. And together we'll make a real impact on the open source software community.
Yeah, cool. Again, doing a TLDR. So first of all, I really recommend, like, Danny, if you can put the URL here, the link, that you can see how you can collect points and money. And so like, if for your first meaningful pull request, you get a $50 gift card. And then you can start getting points and eventually being ranked. So if 50 people opens a meaningful pull request, each one of them gets a $50 gift card, and then start competing on the first 3 positions, and you can see, like, different pull requests will get you different amount of points. Yeah, so that's very exciting, and I think we can open up for if there's any question. I'm not sure if it's maybe perhaps via the chat. That will be the most organized, or I don't know, Danny, if you can actually bring people. Maybe they can raise hands and you can enable a panelist or something. So you can either raise your hand or write it in the chat. And
okay,
meanwhile, okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So Merdi asked if there is a Discord channel for the workshop. So yes, we do. I'll be sharing it, the Discord channel within a minute. We also included the link on the invitations that we sent you today and 3 days ago. You can find it, Discord channel. You can find it here. Great question, Merdi.
Yeah, basically, at CodiumAI, we have a relatively active with thousands of developers at CodiumAI on Discord, and I think, Danny, that we opened a channel specifically for this event there. Yeah.
So when you were asking for a killer feature, there is one feature that is open for a very long time and that is becoming relevant again, I think, with everything that happens with HashiCorp. We've always wanted to scan Terraform files. So I'm sharing the GitHub issue here. And now instead of Terraform, it will be OpenTofu. But I guess the the feature is still relevant, and I think it's important if you want really to cover the whole CI/CD, DevOps, shift left space.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's good. I think like there are two things that can help developers reach two type of PRs that can help developers collect 200 points, which is like double the next type, and the most points are 50, 120. Maybe you can share that specific part. And one of them is having and developing a new feature and adding tests to it. So you make sure that your contribution is like really well established. You can see that in the list on the bottom right. Like there's 5 checks. So like you can earn 5 points, 50 points, 100 points, 200 points, 200 points, and the 200 points are either a new feature with a test suite or finding a bug and fixing it and have a test suite. That's like 200 points, probably bring you really high. And others like just a test suite with no bug or feature or significant or just finding a bug with not fixing it even or something like that. If you use, for example, like any AI tool to analyze, etc., and you don't want to fix, but you found something, etc. Okay. Great. Is there any additional question? You can ask anything about the future of AI, about CodiumAI, everything that you would like to.
Yeah, there's another question asked by Cody. Cody said, great tool, highly recommend. Which backend languages is fully supported by Codium at the moment? I'm asking this for a startup standpoint of view.
Actually, it's the best question you should ask because it's really relevant to what we're doing right now. So it's a really good question, and then now you, according to my answer, you understand why. So basically, if you remember, I do want to share my screen again, but let me make sure that I'm sharing the right thing. One minute. Yeah, desktop. Sorry, I just want to make sure. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to embarrass myself too much. So like you can see here, this is the CodiumAI front page, and you can see the product parts. So we have the ID plugin that was presented in the video, and then there is the Git plugin that we talked about. That like even Matthias presented it, like help you to do the /describe. Some of the commands of the Git plugin actually exist in the ID. So, but anyway, these are the two tools. Now, the Git plugin actually supports quite equally all the major languages like Go, Python, TypeScript, JavaScript, Java, whatever. Sorry if I missed some of the big ones. The ID plugin actually also supports all of the languages, but there are 4 languages that it supports better. and yeah, unfortunately, I know it's a shame Go is not one of those. So just to make sure, it does support Go, but we have 4 languages with some features that do not exist in Go. For example, with some of the backend languages, we even support like agent-like activity, like you have a test that fails, and then we automatically start fixing the test for you, the code for you. So we call it run and fix. And there's other like mocking management and things like that are done better for this 4 languages. Okay, so the ID still has most of the feature, like you just saw Matthias, like showing explain, showing testing, etc. But unfortunately, we know we can do it better, and we'll get to that for Go. Okay. Yeah, so I think it answers the question for this one. Again, the ID extension, the PR agent for the Git is almost equivalent for all languages. So that's not a problem.
Okay, there is another question by Danilo. Danilo say, I want to ask if it's possible to download the whole webinar because I just joined now. So yes, we'll be sending a thank you email to all of you. The email will include a recording of this session, and you'll be able to watch it from start.
I think, Danny, people are also asking education links, etc. So I can tell you that first of all, you can go to CodiumAI on YouTube and find like quite a lot of videos like we presented. Just an example, I can't share the name, but we have like a Fortune 10 company using us, and one of the things that convinced them was a video that we shared of how to use CodiumAI on React native paper repo. If you're familiar, it's very famous repo, and you can find that how to use like in 5 minutes how to use CodiumAI on that and find issues. We also like have a demo on Sherlock, which is a Python demo, and actually a very interesting story that it says it has 100% code coverage, and we brought the maintainer and showed a demo how you can generate more meaningful tests and even find issues. I will stop here, although you have 100% code coverage. As you know, you can have a test that the assert is checking nothing. So 100% code coverage doesn't mean that you're actually checking behaviors fully. And CodiumAI provides you a tool to check behaviors and whether they're tested like nicely. So yes, like please go to CodiumAI YouTube or to our resource page. But perhaps, Danny, we can send all the people participant a link if needed. Yeah. If there's nothing else, we can go back to see all the drama on Twitter about OpenAI. And anything else, Danny?
No, nothing else.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, we'll be there on Discord, on the Kubescape GitHub, and later on.
Yes. Thank you very much.